Shalom, this is GMS on Let's Sit Downs coming back with a lesson. First off and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Wahal, Rakar, Kodash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS for teaching us this truth. Peace and salutations and mercy to the elect out there, spreading this word, this city, and the truth. Gone. I want to go into this verse of the day. Going into Titus, the 2nd chapter, starting with verse 6. It says, "Young men, likewise, exhort to be sober-minded." Exhort to be sober-minded, man. We all know that exhorting one another is an important thing within this truth. So we need to strengthen each other. We need to strengthen each other to depart from these worldly lusts, because being sober is being able to not get distracted from worldly things, not getting affected by worldly things and worldly lusts, doing carnal bullshit, So it says, "Young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded." Okay, let's look up the word sober. Let's look up the word exhort.
Strong's G 3870. Parakaleo. Parakaleo.
So it says to exhort, to call to one side, call for, summon, to address, speak to, call to, call upon, which may be done in the way of exhortation, entreaty, comfort, instruct, to admonish, exhort, to beg, entreat, beseech, to strive, to appease by entreaty, to console, to encourage, and to strengthen by consolation, to comfort. To receive consolation, be comforted, to encourage, strengthen, exhorting, and comforting, and encouraging, to instruct, to teach. So that's an important part of being in this truth, man, to exhort and to strengthen brothers, to teach brothers, whenever they go off. It's an important thing. And like it says young men. So even for the young, for the aged, for the old, the guys that are longer in this truth, the guys that just came in this truth, there's two ways to look at it. First, I want to say this: when you just come into this truth, you should not be a man of many words. You should want to teach. You should want to observe. You should want to figure out certain things instead of just opening your mouth and thinking you know it all. Because let's say you have a girlfriend, right? And you come to their parents' house for the first time. You cannot come in her parents' house and tell them like, "Hey, look, I think it's better for you to put the couch on the other side, and you should clean up that corner over there." You cannot do that. You cannot come in someone else's house and just tell them how to fix their shit, how to do things. That's very disrespectful. So I'm not talking about that. For the young brothers, I'm talking about when you see a brother is down, man. When you see a brother is down, when you see a brother is dealing with certain problems, you gotta exhort him, man. You gotta strengthen him. With the little that you gotta help him out with the situation that he's dealing with. And even though you might not be able to help him with scriptures and pull scriptures that he feels good, you might not be able to do that, but with maybe experience that you have in life and comfort and just being there for the brother. So it says, "Young man likewise exhort to be sober-minded." Okay, let's go into the word sober. Sober, being sober-minded.
Strong's G 4993. Sophroneo. Sophroneo.
Okay. So the word sober, to be of a sound mind, to be in one's right mind, to exercise self-control. You know, self-control from what? We are dealing with all these demons left and right. You know, demons, you have multiple demons out there, man. Demons of lust, demons of anger, you know, demons of impatience, you know, of impatience, demons of pride, you know, demons that are upon you that always want to, that you always want to justify yourself in every case. In every case, justifying yourself. That's a demon, man. You know, because the scriptures speak about, let me just pull it out, man. Wait. To put moderate estimation upon oneself, think of oneself soberly, to chirp or chirp, I don't know, one's passions. So let me pull out this one scripture real quick. Concerning what I just said, I believe it's here, or it's in the, Apocrypha. Gone. James chapter 5 verse 16. Confess your faults one to another. So that's also a way to be sober-minded, man. To stay away from these demons, man. To be sober, be able to have control over yourself. That these demons don't have control over you. You know, it's being sober-minded and justifying yourself in every way. That's a demon, man. You know, because the scripture says, James 5 and 16, confess your faults one to another. But if you say you are never wrong, if you always justify every way and bring out that you're never wrong, you know, then you are basically not doing what the scripture says, because the scripture says that you're supposed to confess your faults, man, one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. You know? So that's an important thing too. And that all those things go into exhorting each other and being sober-minded in this truth, man. You know, and that's what this video is about, man. Being sober-minded. And like we saw, sober also goes into sound. Now we're going to go into that later. Let me read on Titus chapter 2 verse 7. In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. You know, instead of a pattern of bad works, man. You know, like there is no snitching. There is no snitching in this truth, man. It's either a good report or a bad report. So if only bad reports are popping up, that means you are not exhorting. That means you are not being sober, man. Because if you are being sober, no bad reports are coming up about you. Like a brother sees you going off, boom, he brings out the bad report, like this guy was doing this and this. In the world, that would be called snitching. But in this truth, there is no snitching, man. Like I said, there's either a good report and a bad report. So if you constantly bring up bad reports and the brothers constantly need to rebuke you, the brothers constantly need to get on you, which is our task, which is a part of the office, then you are showing a pattern of bad works, man. You know? So Titus chapter 2 verse 7 says, in all things showing thyself a pattern of good works. So, you know, you should work your way up to show a pattern of good works. Not for brothers, not for yourself, but first and foremost for Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai, man. Because the scriptures in 1 John, I believe it says, assure yourselves before the Most High. Meaning, work to please one. Work hard to please one. You know, assure yourselves before the Most High. So that's what you got to do it for. You know, show good works, man, a pattern of good works. In doctrine, showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity. Okay, let's go into those words, man. Showing uncorruptness, incorruptibility, soundness. See the word sound again. Integrity of mind, you know, and being integer is also goes into you know, having a humble spirit. And even though you go through all these things, and even though you get rebuked by brothers and stuff, you still stay humble. You keep humble. You don't go off. You keep a temperate mind, which means a mind of self-control. That's important. Going back, so that was uncorruptness, gravity. The characteristic of a thing or person which entitles the reverence and respect, dignity, majesty, sanctity, honor, purity. You know, so reverencing and showing respect, man. Showing respect is also very important because, you know, it goes back to being sober again. Because if you're not being sober, these demons jump upon you, and you show lack of respect, man, to men that have been put in its truth before you. You show lack of respect. You know, if you're not walking in gravity, you're showing a lack of respect. But you gotta walk in gravity, man. And the scriptures even go into that if you are being accused for something wrong, you still got to show gravity, man. You still got to show respect. And you got to humble yourself and deal patiently with it. So even when you're right, you got to stay humble. That's being sober, man. Sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned. You see, so now the word sound pops up because that's what sober goes into, man. Being of a sound mind. Being of a right mind. You know, let's look up the word in the Blue Letter Bible. I haven't done it yet. So it says, sound of a man who is sound in body, to make one whole, restore him to health, teaching which does not deviate from the truth. You know, so it goes into teaching the truth, but it also goes into, you know, being sound yourself. You know, being of an upright mind, being sober. Being sober goes into being sound. Soundness, right? Now let's look up that word in the Farlex dictionary, which of course, you know, if you go above here, it goes into the noise, sound, you know, how many hertz, you know. But if you go to the second definition, it says, I'm gonna jump straight to the point. 3. A, marked by or showing common sense and good judgment, level-headed. So in this truth, there is a level that you got to adjust yourself to. You know, the brother of GMS LA made a video about adapting yourself, being level-headed with the ways things are going right now. You know, in the world you was doing certain things, but now you got to level yourself and become on the same level as is required of you in this truth. Adapt yourself. You cannot be disrespectful to your elders. You cannot be disrespectful to men that are above you. You cannot get emotional over bullshit. You don't have to show people that you are this tough guy. You don't have to do that no more. You know, because you got to be humble, man. Like the scripture says, Proverbs chapter 18 and 12, before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor is humility. Now, back in the world, when you got put on the spot by certain people, you were not humble. You were not showing humility. You was backbiting, man. You was going in, man. Hey, I'm not gonna get blamed for this shit. You would fight your way out of it, man. But that's a carnal ass spirit, man. That's a spirit, that's a mind that is not sober, man. But Yahweh Ratazah, when we come in this truth, we show off a sober mind, man. Showing humility. Even though you get put on the spot, you still humble yourself, you know, because you have certain demons out there. They make you like, this man put me on the spot. He just put me on the spot in front of all these people. This motherfucker just put me on the spot. Hey, that's a carnal ass mind, man. If you get affected by that, in that way that you are going off, then you're really not in the truth, man. You're not being sober. You're not showing gravity at all. Especially for you women out there, man. You goddamn demons. Because that's something that's impossible for you women to do, man. Is showing gravity. Because, yeah, the men of Israel are not in authority anyways now. You know? But you showing gravity, you showing respect and love towards the so-called white man, right? You showing love and respect to these heathens, right? Start by giving respect to your husband. Start by giving respect to men that are in this truth and that are doing this work in sincerity, man. So be level-headed, man. Be sound. Based on valid reasoning, having no logical flaws. You know, a sound conclusion. Secure or stable. Thorough, complete, deep and unbroken. Undisturbed. Undisturbed by what? Other winds of doctrine, man. You know, people that have other doctrines and now all of a sudden you start teaching those things too. That means you're not sound. Because that means you are not unbroken, undisturbed. Because all of a sudden you start teaching the earth is flat and shit. All of a sudden what are these doctrines that are out there today? Esau is Japhet, the so-called white man is Japhet. If you all of a sudden start mixing things up, that means you're not being sound, man. The truth that you preach is not the words that you preach are not sound. Plus, you're not sound yourself, man, because you are not undisturbed. You are broken instead of unbroken. You know, compatible with an accepted point of view, orthodox. You know. So if you don't teach sound doctrine, then then your point of view is not right. Your point of view is carnal. Your point of view is being deceitful. Your point of view is being filled with lies and demons that are upon you. You know. So going back to Titus, because it was gonna be a verse of the day, but you know, hey, the spirit is heavy, man. So verse 7 again, Titus 2 and 7. In all things showing thyself a pattern of good works, in doctrine showing uncorruptness, gravity, sincerity, sound speech that cannot be condemned, that he that is of a contrary part may be ashamed. So we are also out there to show an example, man. We are out there showing example to people that are not walking in these ways. So that when someone looks at you and he sees your good works, he sees how you are showing gravity, showing respect to people that are above you, that he may be ashamed, man. That he may look at you and reflect to himself like, damn, I'm not acting like that. I'm being a goddamn demon, man. I'm not being right. Shit, man. This brother shows me how I'm supposed to be doing, man. So we in this truth, we are supposed to show an example to people, man. We are supposed to be an example to people, man. So it says that he that is of the contrary part may be ashamed, having no evil thing to say of you. Exactly. So you're supposed to be working hard on yourself, that no person has evil to speak about you, man. Because being in this truth, being a teacher of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai makes you vulnerable of people that are gonna talk shit about you. Of course, you're gonna make mistakes, so people are gonna talk shit about you 100%, man. Because we are not perfect. So, but when you make a mistake, that's when people want to jump upon you, man. So I got the last scripture, This is James chapter 3 verse 1. My brethren, be not many masters, knowing that we shall receive the greater condemnation. And that's the point, man. So when be not many masters, not everyone is a teacher. So but when you are a teacher, you gotta be prepared that people are gonna get upon you, or get on you, man, if you make a mistake. Because they are on the lookout for you to make a mistake. They are waiting. Oh, so what is he saying? What is he saying? Okay. So when you make a mistake, you can receive the greater condemnation, man. So that goes back to what it's all about. Be of a sound mind, man. Be sober-minded. Be of sound speech. And preach this word of sincerity and the truth, man. Working hard and adapting yourself to the likeness of what the things are heading to, man, which is the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The prophecy is coming to pass. Be level-headed. Flow with the river. Don't go against it. If you're trying to go against the river and the river becomes stronger, man, your ass is gonna drown, man. And we see those things are happening already because people are falling off left and right, man. Saying, yeah, this truth, I stopped believing in this truth. I stopped believing in the scriptures. Well, if that's so, then this is not for you, man. But even those people are an example to the people that are sincere teaching this truth, or people that just came into this truth, how not to be, because that's what the 2/3 really are, man. An example for the man how not to be. That's what fallouts really are, man. Examples for the brothers how not to be, man. Examples. So with that, I want to give all praise, glory, and the highest honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Wahar Rakakudash, Shalom to the elect.